Welcome to the Code of Entry podcast, where we cloud the issues with facts and help you upskill to stay on the digital edge. Here's your host, Greg, with the latest.
Hey team, Greg here with the Code of Entry podcast, joined by Keri once again. So this week we have May the 4th coming up. So we wanted to do a May the 4th be with you podcast. So maybe not as valuable and upskilling as normal, but we wanted to geek out just a little bit and talk, what else? Star Wars. By the way, it is Keri Fischer, aka Princess.
Yep.
So we couldn't miss the opportunity to talk about Star Wars. And if you didn't know, it looks like on May the 4th, which should be the Saturday after this podcast comes out, they're going to show all of the films in the theater. Good luck holding it down. If you can make it through all 9 in a day, you beat me. I won't be there, but it sounds fun.
Does sound fun.
All right. We went through and found some stuff to talk about, current news, technologies that we could relate back to Star Wars, or just rant on Star Wars for a minute and how it got some things right and wrong. So with no further ado, I will pitch it over to Princess.
Thanks, Greg. All right, so we're going to go through some different topics. I think on the Star Wars side, what we're going to focus on is the influence of Star Wars and how it has impacted current technology. The part that I like to always look through are different facts or facts that you didn't know, knowing that Star Wars came out before I was born, before you were born, the first one. There's all kinds of things that happened that I just didn't know about. So whether it's top 100 facts, top 50 facts, the one I actually found out is that the first Star Wars actually almost caused a war. I know. So
Not the Galactic Rebellion?
no, not the Galactic Rebellion. I guess one of the good locations that they found to represent the desert for Tatooine was in the country of Tunisia. And they had put some of the things from the movie production out into this desert. And that happened to be right on the border of Libya, where Muammar Gaddafi actually saw what they had listed as a Jawa sandcrawler and thought he may or may not have military things positioned near his border.
Holy crap, that's the biggest tank ever. Wave off, wave off.
Yeah, this military vehicle was seen. And so instead of causing a massive international incident, George Lucas decided that, yes, he would move the sandcrawler somewhere else. But they did do the rest of the filming there, at least in Tunisia.
Yeah, and to translate for the non-Star Wars people out there, Tatooine is the desert planet that you would have seen in the episodes with Anakin Skywalker or with Luke Skywalker. So I guess chronologically, Luke first, it was the desert planet where his family was moisture farmers. And old Ben Kenobi was the desert hermit. Okay, sorry.
This is the whole point of geeking out on Star Wars topics. So I use that one more to branch into, okay, what are the things that have occurred thus far in technology based off things that may have just been an idea in Star Wars? One of them, let's just start with the name for the Star Wars project itself. Like post Star Wars and the different episodes that had been put into the movie theaters, then you get Ronald Reagan and his Star Wars project.
Yeah, and I guess it wasn't originally named the Star Wars project, but it got dubbed that as people were ridiculing it. But it's funny because I think it was just far ahead of its time, right? At the time, hey, this mutually assured destruction thing might not work. It's like all we're going to do is make the entire globe glow in the dark. So what we really need to do is show that your weapons of mass destruction, your ballistic missiles are irrelevant because we can shoot them down. So we started sinking money into that. And I guess we never really saw the benefits of that. But then fast forward to 2024 and Israel with some U.S. assets, some of its Iron Dome, shoot down hundreds of missiles and drones at the same time. Thank you, President Reagan. Because if you look at that happening, that could have been World War III. If Israel gets looked at sideways, the only way they know to defend themselves, if you look at history, is to punch somebody in the face. It's escalation of force, but it's not, oh, you raised your voice to me, so now I'm going to raise my voice to you. It's, you raised my voice to me, I'm going to shoot my largest bomb at you, right? It's the extreme. So you get to shoot down all those things, and then there was this this very measured counterattack from Israel that was just probably to save face. But yeah, the Star Wars project, just even that capability existing started back then, and just to pay homage to how quickly that name caught on. What Reagan took over presidency, what year? 1980?
I think they're
Yeah, so
assume it
this
in January 81.
yeah, so this happened in mid 80s, right? And you're still back to where that film had come out and it wasn't quite a cult classic yet. So
That's true.
yeah, so good job, Star Wars, making an impact early.
Yeah. There's a Netflix, like 6 or 7 episodes about the Cold War that you can watch. It's a good plug for that one. I liked it. It revisited all the history of Cold War from start to finish. Everything with Kennedy, everything with the Berlin Wall, all the way up to Putin, and everything recently when he's been president at least once, twice. And the resurgence of
Twice
that
for
Cold
whatever
War.
5 or 6 terms, whatever it is,
Yep.
a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it covers a lot of things related to the project as well. That's a
Nice.
plug. Yeah. All right. So second topic.
Okay.
Millennium Falcon.
YT 1800, was that the model? We didn't rehearse this. I think it's like a YT. It's a YT. It's a Carillion freighter.
I made a Lego one.
Okay, I didn't do that, but I think it's a YT 1800.
Okay.
That's why it has the like 2 things in the front. It's meant to load cargo.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. What was the Millennium Falcon?
Millennium Falcon. Any additional things technology-wise that could be added to it, subtracted to it to make it more realistic as of now?
Okay, let's just assume that Star Wars was in the future and it wasn't a galaxy
Far away.
far, far away, a long time ago, a galaxy far away.
Okay.
Let's just assume it was in our future because, so much more advanced than us. Point number 1, Han Solo needed some additive manufacturing in his life, aka 3D printing. How many parts did that ship need that they probably could have made? You got Princess Leia, Keri, immediately calling it a bucket of bolts. And like them having to put bubble gum in the right place for the hyperdrive to work during the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think 3D printing could have been a big thing that we're just getting to in our military. We're finally getting there. Hey, instead of having this stock of parts that we think fail often, let's just allow you to make something that's good enough in an austere environment so you can still do operations while you order the one that will last 10,000 hours. Let's give you one that'll last 100 hours.
Maybe it was just too old to have those parts be created in a 3D printer.
Hey, it was never like that when Lando owned it.
Okay.
Okay. Han was just too interested in making the Kessel Run. And how many parsecs? 7, 9? I'm going real deep now, sorry. 3D manufacturing, I think another topic we can go into from the Millennium Falcon too, is just like, how bad were the comms? Dude's like wearing a headset that like looks like a truck driver or one of the old like Nokia plug-in like cell phone headsets.
Yeah.
To talk. Coast is clear, kid. Blow this joint. Okay. Like that headset, the comms, it was like they were talking through a CB radio. So not so good in the forward looking for that. Good on, hey, we need aliens, we need diversity, we need a whole bunch of spaceship designs, we need shields, lasers, and the Force. They're not going to have a modern way to communicate, though. Nothing. Yeah. Yeah. So, because then you go, okay, that was their headsets. Then you notice, like, whenever they talk face to face, it's never like a video. It's always a hologram. You're like, wow, they have holograms. Yeah, but then they have a hologram that looks like it's on like a 1950s tube TV, black and white from Channel 3. It's, oh, what would that look like if it was a hologram? It would look crappy like this. So I was like, you've got FaceTime now. You've got there's a Japanese company that has these plasma holograms they're starting to make that you can actually like touch. I was like, I think we could have done better on the holograms. I think maybe the limiting factor on not the voice comms for sure, but at least on the holograms would have been, okay, how good was our computer generated stuff back then? And it's one of the things that's a problem with the prequels over the originals is maybe we got too hot and heavy on the graphics side. Because I think it was like